Okay, we are live now. So welcome to Tamarah's Closet today. I have a wonderfully talented young lady with me today, and I'm really excited because she is the first flutist I've ever interviewed. And I'm passionate about the flute because I learned to play the flute growing up, and I really do miss playing, and my goal is to get another one because mine's kind of petered out and I want to play again. So I'm really excited. And I do not play anything like I've been listening to Danielle play, and she is amazing. And I'm like, boy, I'm not going to ever let her hear me play. But she's also the daughter of a previous guest on my show. Maybe a year and a half ago, Oriental rock guitarist Yossi Sassi. So I'm really excited to have his daughter here with me today. That just makes it extra special. And, you know, she studied classical flute for 4 years, and then she studied jazz 1 year at Ramon, I hope I'm saying that right, School of Jazz in Israel. And she's been recording a lot with her father's band, which is the Yossi Sassi Band, and the Oriental Rock Orchestra, as well as she has been showing with Bumblefoot, who is ex-Guns N' Roses. And I love Bumblefoot too. So she's also working with her own band on a new single, and we'll talk a little bit about that later. And I want to go ahead and bring her out so that we can have time to talk and maybe her play something. So I want to welcome today Danielle Sassi. Say hello, Danielle, so I know you're still with me.
Hey, hello everybody.
Well, I'm so excited to have you here, Danielle. It's always fun to have a young person too. That's and you're so far along, and I just think that's amazing. I know you have a family background in music. You know, obviously, since I interviewed your father,
Yeah.
but I wanted to know what it was like growing up with music in your home.
Well, music is a big. I remember it is a big part of my childhood. I remember myself most of the time I was with my father. It was like, you know, in recording studios, in rehearsal rooms, in the backstage on the live shows. You know, I was kind of. I felt like cool, and I get to the backstage with all the cool artists. Yeah, it felt kind of cool. But yeah, it's a great part of my childhood. It influenced me. It influenced me a lot because I saw in my eyes how everything works, like how shows work, how the rehearsals work. Like I saw it from my perspective.
Yeah, very early you were surrounded by it. And before I forget to tell you, Danielle, if for any reason you get bumped off the internet, just jump back on that same link and I'll wait for you. I meant to tell you that before, okay?
So, all right.
Yeah. Okay.
Great.
But what's your earliest memory growing up with music that caught your passion? Like, I don't know, what kind of music did were you exposed to when you were really young that you remember?
I think it was in Zaza Studios. Yeah, we're in Jaffa. There was a studio called Zaza Jaffa, and it was like a grand studio with a floor upper than the studio, and there was, you know, many comfortable sofas and everything, and you could watch the studio and work on the studio from the glass, and it was amazing. It was great. Well, in that young age, you don't really understand what are they doing there in the studio, but it was still great to see.
So you had a passion early.
Yeah.
Was it the music, or was it more a fascination with just everything that is involved in making the music, or was it both?
Um, I think it was more about the creation of the music, because in this day and age, you don't think about sound designing or something like that, sound engineering. It isn't a thing that a child a child could be interested in.
Was it? Were you listening to Oriental rock, or was it a little bit of everything when you were really, really young, like when you were?
Yeah, of course. Only from there are many videos of me, like documentaries of Warfland and everything, that you could see me like sitting and watching my dad's shows, full shows, you know. And I was like sitting, and sometimes when I grew up more, I was singing no lie, no lie. I many documentaries like that. Yeah.
Well, what have you learned from your father that you believe will help you later in life? Like, because juggling music and family is a challenge. And what have you learned that will help you in the music world? Because I imagine one day you may want a family of your own. What have you learned from your dad about that part?
Well, yeah, as you said, it's super difficult to make, you know, such an amazing career, and also raise 3 children. And the most influencing thing that I learned is that you need every week and every weekend to leave time to your family, and the rest of the time to do the things you need. But in this short time, you need to be only with the child, like no with the phones or with the email or everything that has bound to the career, only with the family.
Right.
And this is something I took for myself. I took away for myself. I like one day on the week I go to somewhere with my sisters. I have one young sister, like very young, 4 years old.
Yeah. So you're making
She's
time.
Really young.
You're making time for her. And and I think that's really special, because I know you started at 4. You started really young, so you know. But you know, you mentioned in your bio that you would choose this time period right now to be building your music journey. Why is that? Why now?
Well, you know, wait a minute. Maybe I'll close the window. Yeah, the neighbors here. Oh, now it's more quiet. For me, anyway.
Yeah.
Well, every generation has its advantages and disadvantages. But in this time period, I think something in all the way we understand the world has changed, because you know we see more, you know, things that everyone can do everything, and it's everywhere, you know, in the social media, in everything, every projects that people organize, that this perspective that everyone can do everything and everything can be done. And it's something that in earlier time periods it wasn't. So I think it's the best time period to live for me.
Right.
Anyway, because it's you know, maybe our music, this time period changed our music totally. Like, you can anyone in the world can hear your music. So from one hand, it's good. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
From the other hand, all the MP3 and all things that just compress. They all just compress our sound, so we don't hear in our music what we could hear if it wasn't a higher quality. But the quality that goes to all the people through YouTube, Facebook, etc., is MP3, and you just don't hear the music as it was recorded.
Right. So you're saying the disadvantage is the way that people hear it through YouTube and Facebook, and they're not getting the quality that they did years ago. I guess more when we had albums and things like that, because we didn't have the internet.
Yeah, it has less feel than once.
Yeah, I know. I miss. When I grew up, we had the records, the albums,
Yeah.
and so
it was actually just taking the music, putting it on the record. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was a good quality, a good sound, and I kept thinking maybe that would come back, but I don't know, but anyway, but you like social media, it sounds like, because you can utilize that to get to more people, you get yourself exposed,
Yeah, I think social media is one of the greatest advantages of this generation, because it helps every person express every idea, it helps him get any goal he wants. It helps him get his crowd, get his fans. It also helps him to target the people he needs for it. Did you know? You probably know in the YouTube you have the analytics that you actually can see from which country and how many times and in what time people watched your video, and it helps you target the right people and to get to this audience actually.
Yeah, I mean, YouTube's great. I mean, it is. It really is. But not everyone's blessed to have a parent as a mentor like you have, or that lots of times we don't do what our parents did, and so you've been blessed because you want to be in music, and you have a father who's done very well in music. So I had a couple questions there. First, do you consider your father a mentor?
I don't have an actual mentor. I have like some people that were I take advices from him. Most of them are musicians. In between that, there is my dad. There is Orl Bioniker, the bassist, and some more people that aren't musicians. They don't know anything that has around to music, but they still have great. It's great.
Right. Now, what's the greatest advice or best advice that your father has given you so far?
Well, I think is
he watching? You better be nice.
I don't know if he watches it now. I think he's. I heard him there, like getting ready the little girls to get out.
Yeah.
But I think the best. The best one is not getting into a situation of misery.
Not say that again.
I think the best advice he gave me is not getting to a situation of misery.
A situation of misery. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like a situation of misery is when you're when you're not in a place you want to be and you complain about it.
Yeah, we've all done that.
Yeah. So the options you have as a personal from the Western world that has the tools, that has everything, the two options you have, or just to complete with it, like to release it. Like you once wrote a post about it, and it was beautiful.
Oh, well, tell what was
just to let go.
Just to let go.
Or you let go. Say, I have these problems, or go. Or you try to, oh, what is that? Let's put it on silence. And the second way there is just to do something about it, like to make this bad situation change.
Yeah.
So my dad doesn't believe in a situation of misery in our world, like.
Yeah, and that's good. That's a good advice.
Yeah, it's a great advice.
Yeah, that's actually good advice. So, see, you are lucky to have someone that is working on a similar dream. Because I think as artists, we do ruminate on things, and you have to stay focused on continually working to be better, or focusing on your creative side, and not allow yourself to slip into misery, because it is hard. It is.
Yeah.
But I want to talk a little bit about what progressive music is to you, because you say, I'll quote you, "Prog by me is just doing what you want without any rules or limitations." Can you elaborate on that? I read that in your bio.
Yeah, of course. Many people think that progressive music is difficult harmonies and changing meters and long songs, all of this, because this is how they define progressive music. This is how progressive music was defined. But actually, I define prog because it's called progressive. So progressive, according to our generation, it's something creative. It's something that you do from your passion, and I think this is the meaning of prog, like doing things that maybe aren't aren't the normal things, aren't the conventional things, like taking flute to a progressive metal.
Yeah.
And I think prog is just doing what you want. You don't think about scams or things like that. You just test. You combine them with your passion, with the things. It's actually a thing you did.
Say that again, Danielle, because you were breaking up. You were saying combine. Say that again.
Oh, all right. I say that progressive music is the norms, and just doing whatever you like with your music, whether it's to do something that is more I don't know, classical or rock or jazz, and combine things together, make weird fusions. But as long as you have a passion and you get your passion out there, so that's what's important. You don't think of how much people will like it. You don't think, you just think who like it for you, so you can target
True to yourself.
Target them on the social media. Yeah, but you compose the music not by rules, but the things you want to do with your music. How would you like to do your music?
Yeah, you were breaking up, but I got what you said. You're saying that you should follow your passions and don't worry about rules or breaking any rules. Just do what you want, and you can fuse any type of music together that you want, and don't worry about whether or not people like it. Just follow your passion and not worry about whether you're breaking a rule or not. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, it sounds a bit like a cliche, but
no, it's good though. No, it's not cliche. I agree with it. I don't follow any rules in the creative things that I do, because that's when it gets boring. You know.
Yeah.
It does. And then you lose people, you know.
Yeah.
So I think that's really good advice, and I admire you sticking with your dream, and I wanted to talk about this not because it could be a sad subject, but because a lot of people, this is what happens to people today. And when you're working on a dream, and especially as young as you were when you started, I know that your parents split up when you were at a very young age, and you mentioned in your bio that living in 2 different homes actually influenced your music. Can you say how were you influenced, and what or who do you attribute to your ability to stick with your passion during this difficult time? Because you were very young.
Yeah. Well, actually, I was very young, so I even didn't play the flute. I started playing the violin when I was 4 till something like age of 8. And then I played, recorder, piano, guitar. I still know how to play guitar. And in something like age of 12, I met the flute. And in something like age of 14, I met the other flute, the ney, the pan flute, and other flutes, bansuri, shakuhachi, dizzy, and some more weird flutes. When my parents divorced, it was a bit sad because they didn't do it like nice. But it influenced my music because, from the other hand, there is my mother's house, and her parents came to Israel from Poland, so she's like very European, very by the rules, everything should be like very accurate, very all the things you learn. Yeah.
Structure.
Yeah. So every instrument I started playing, she took me to a classical teacher. So I could learn. She likes classical music. She likes everything that's is very organized and very. And from the other hand, there is my father that makes weird fusions, and he tours the world, and he does things according to his passion, and he doesn't like the rules and scams and everything. So it actually inspired music because my mother sent me to a classical teacher when I started playing the flute as every instrument. So I learned, first of all, I don't regret of everything that I learned, the basics of classical music, because it helps me. It helps everything about producing sound and dynamics and all the things. But later on, I began to expose to other things. and I was inspired by dad's music, because I started playing his music when I was very young, even before I started showing with him and recording and everything. I played for the fun and everything. And it just was there, all the ethnic trills and the ethnic sound. It was there.
Yeah. Well, he's an intuitive musician, wouldn't you say? He's very.
Yeah, he's more intuitive. And when I have from one side my mother, and from the other side my father, so it comes down to music that also have like basics of classical and jazz, things that I learn like professional in schools and everything. Beside very intuitive things, a lot of feel, a lot of personal a lot of like personal expression.
Okay, yeah, personal expression. Yeah, no. But you
sorry for my English.
No, I'm understanding you. I think you were influenced by both sides, and actually I admire you for sticking with it and actually turning something that could be a sad thing into something beautiful. Actually, is what you did. You used it to help you,
Yeah.
And
yeah, of course I like my father more.
You beeped out. I know you're more like your father, is what you were saying, right?
He's more like me. We're very similar. So sometimes it's fantastic, sometimes it's less fantastic. But it's still fantastic, just less.
Yeah. Well, I don't know your mother, but I know your father, and he's great. And so I think he's a great mentor, and I'm sure they both have been, because it's good that you've got learned the structure, and you've also got into the intuitive part. And so I think they can both guide you and help keep moving you forward. But I gotta know what I know you learned to play the guitar from your father, but what ended up drawing you more to the flute? What's about the flute that you like so much?
Well, first of all, I'm more a person of melodies from harmonies. I prefer melodical instruments than harmonical instruments, because I like melodies and I like grooves and things like that. I do grooves with my flute, and flute is an instrument you can do also groove, also melody, also overtones. Also, overtones is a kind of harmony.
Yeah.
For my musician friends that know like things that I'm talking about, definitions. Yeah. But actually, what drew me to the flute is just the moment that, for saying that, I need to tell how I got to play the flute. Well, it actually started from school. In the school, where school decided that he won't teach recorders no more, but side flutes. So I said, all right, I'll flow with that. And I went to the teacher's house. I took the flute, and once I blew to the embouchure, there was a sound. And it's something that doesn't happen. You need to work hard to produce the sound. It doesn't come so easily. And it's just the immediate click. It's just the bound that was created. It was just created. That's all.
Yeah, no, I understand. Yeah,
It's like a little love from first sight.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, because I understand because I learned to play the piano growing up, and then I started playing the flute. Remember, and I never could. I could learn to play the piano and I could read music, but it was never an instrument that I could just sit down and pick out a song. It just didn't click with me. It just wasn't. But then when I learned to play the flute, I could sit down and just from my intuition and whatever, I could just pick out a song without reading music. I never could do that with the piano. So I understand what you're saying. It's just something you click with.
Yeah.
And it's really no explanation. I think it's just you're meant to do it, obviously.
Yeah, like with an instrument is like that. You just have to click with the instrument, and you also, your instrument and you're just like connected. Like you give your air, the air that you need. You need your air. You give it to the flute. So there is a connection.
Yeah.
There gotta be a connection. If you give him his air, that it's super important.
Yeah.
How can you survive without air? So I think it has something.
Yeah, I've never looked at
to the instrument.
Yeah. That's I've never looked at it that way, but you're absolutely right. So that's good. And I hope a friend of mine who's a musician, who was my last guest, Michael Ken, he plays a guitar, but he also plays a flute. I hope he's watching, or hope he'll, I don't know. He has a flute. I don't know if it's one of those that you have, but it's not the regular flute that you and I play.
Yeah.
It's one of these others that you play, but I'm not sure. I don't remember what his flute is called, but so I thought that was cool. But
people say they can recognize.
Yeah, he might recognize one of yours. But this is a good time for, if you want to try playing something. We'll see if we can hear it. We're getting a lot of breakup, but maybe we can hear a little something on your flute if you want to try playing something.
Yeah, right. I think it's a great idea.
Okay. Why not?
So I'll just organize it a little bit.
And what brand is that flute? I was going to ask you.
Because brands and that. This is Azumi. Azumi from Azumi #1.
Okay.
Only 3 kinds of flutes. This is Azumi with an alto temperature.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like alto is a temperature of hardcore jazzists.
Hardcore jazz? Is that what?
The body is more classical.
Oh, okay. Okay.
All right. The sound is good?
Yeah. Oh my God. I'm definitely not playing. I got to brush up on that lip action.
Yeah. Right, I'll just play something.
Okay, play something. My You're amazing.
No, I just do everything. I really like to play grooves with the flute, as I did now. But I also like glissanos. I like all this kind of stuff, and also Oriental articulation, like. I can also play quartetones, or I mean quartetones.
Quartetones?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? My friend Michael is watching, and he said he plays the Native American flute.
Oh, like an olos or something? Or
let's see.
Like regular Native American flute.
He texted me. He said, I play Native American flute. Maybe he'll text me if I'm sure he's still watching.
Oh, right.
I know it.
I like.
Huh?
I like this kind of flute. I like this kind of flutes.
You do?
It's there is a Greek flute that I have. It's called an aulos. I bought it when I was when I was in Greece, and it just has an amazing sound. I don't have it here right now, but it has a double pipe. And it sounds amazing. It's like a harmony. It's beautiful.
Oh wow! So is it similar? Is it similar to what you think he's talking about, or?
It's similar, but it isn't that. Every flute has its timbre.
Okay.
Timbre.
Okay. See, the only flute I've played is the one is similar to what you just played, but I mean, but I don't sound like that. Did you want to play something else, or what?
What?
Or did you want to play something else, or are you?
No, I was just playing random notes.
Okay.
I like it.
Okay. All right. Well, let me. So I know. You told me spell the name of that flute. It was Zumba.
Azumi.
Zumi. Okay.
Azumi. Azumi.
Okay.
Azumi, Japan. No, this is actually Azumi from Taiwan, and the embouchure, the altest embouchure, is Japanic. Write it for yourself if you like.
Let's see. He says, "Play it." Yeah.
Great. Yeah, it's actually new. Before I had a pearl. If you learn to play flute, you must know pearl.
Yeah.
And so I had pearl 525 till the summer, and in the summer, it was, he just kind of passed away. And so I bought that one. Yeah, it's kind of new friendship.
Yeah.
But I can say we already know each other well.
Yeah. That's good.
But yeah, it will take time.
Yeah, but that's good. Now, you started as a classical player, and then you moved into the progressive rock after you discovered Ian Anderson of Jethro Tull. And I know you like the craziness. You said he was kind of crazy. Like, you love the jazz of Eric Dolphy and others. What would you, do you have a favorite genre, or do you like to just, fuse different ones together, or where do you see yourself moving toward? What direction? Or
Well, in general, it's the progressive one. The progressive that everybody know, like that with long songs and everything. I like this, but it's like a bit more than the others. But I hear every music that I hear and I like, no matter in which genre. Like everything, if there's jazz that is good, classical that is good, Oriental music, Chinese music, Greek music, and even pop.
yeah.
There is some pop that is good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. What do you like most about Ian Anderson?
First of all, I think he's the first to take the flutes into a direction of rock.
Mm-hmm.
Like classical flutists till today, most of the flutists, like 20% are classical. For 15% of the flutists are jazzists, and something like 10% are both of them. 4% are also 2% are all. 3% are all also rock flutists, and 1% is all of them. I belong to this 1%.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Ian Anderson is great. I was listening to some more of him the other day.
He's amazing. He took all the craziness he had in his mind and made it into music, and it just beautiful. Doesn't sound like that works.
Yeah, it works. But what would you say you took away most from, because you went to, am I saying it right, Ramon?
Yeah, Ramon.
And that's like a top school in Israel, a jazz music school. What did you take away from that?
Well, first of all, where I met the drummer from my band, and he has no Facebook and he lives very far, so there was any chance to meet him, and he's just an amazing drummer. So this is one great thing I took away. The second one is the ability to explain myself to others, like to explain how my music works to other people, because like I see it on my father that he sometimes want to say, right, do that chord, it's like G with sharp here and flat here, and do this like in part I don't know what, and it kind of gets not organized, and he feels a bit he feels not comfortable. So once you know the language, you know how to talk with other musicians, so it helps you get better results in the music.
Yeah.
So you can tell people how do you feel and hear the music in your mind, and
right.
make it become a reality.
Well, that's a very good takeaway from that school. I mean, it sounds like you really, really benefited from that, and you met a great drummer. So that's pretty cool too.
Yeah, I got them, and actually all the harmony lessons and everything, all this theoretical stuff, I didn't like it very much, because they were like, this is how it should be done, and this is the tension that combines with that chord. They didn't encourage creativity or things like that, and it was very hard for me with that. So I wasn't going to the harmony lessons, just to the lessons when we played and we improvised and stuff like that. And I learned from that much more than the theoretical things. Because I think the best way to learn things is just to do it. You know, you can sit all day and learn things, but the experience is what makes you learn.
Yeah, it's what teaches you the most, I think. I agree. So what would you say your favorite part is about your music journey so far? I mean, do you like the performing or do you like the creating?
What do you talk about, a particular experience or
no,
in general?
Or anything. What's in general, or a particular experience maybe that you've had so far? What's been
all right. Well, each one is a totally different experience, but I think I enjoy more in the creation, you know, working in the studio. And it's like it's the time when the ideas and everything that was in your mind is getting into reality. So, you know, it's super exciting.
Yeah.
But also performing on the stage is, you also bring in, it's also in front of people. So you feel, you have the feeling of bringing your music and making other people happy.
Yeah.
Your music.
Yeah, and that's very gratifying, I think. Yeah. So, yeah, I think so.
And
I think that's...
Yeah, like giving to people good things is, it makes you good in your home.
Yeah. Well, what is the dream that with your music that lives in your heart? You know, what is your, do you have real clarity on your dream, like where you really want to go with this? Or
well, I have the one great dream that, you know, like performing on great stages, and that many people will. And first of all, is to create great music. This is the large dreams, and from these large dreams, you know, branches out some other dreams. One of them is like showing on the big stage, because this is what every musician wants, except for, you know, jazz musicians and things like that. But I'm not a jazzist at all. One of them is that. One of them is to collaborate with Tigran Hamasyan. He's a pianist. He's like a progressive pianist, and he's super talented. So this is my dream today. But I think I'll start making it happen after I have the single with my band out. So I'll have things to make him hear.
Yeah, tell me the pianist's name again. Say his name again.
Tigran Hamasyan.
Okay. Yeah.
I can write it if you like.
Yeah, right. Yeah, write it for me, because I would like that. But
right. This is one of them. Another dream is to open for Ian Anderson.
Oh yeah. That's a great dream.
Yeah, but this, I think I also made this novel after I have materials of my own that are out there, and I also hope that Ian Anderson will be still with us, because, you know, he isn't that young.
Yeah.
I really hope.
Yeah, well, you keep holding on to that dream. Did you want to mention anything about your single? Is there anything you wanted to tell? Because I know it's going to be coming out. And
yeah, it's going to be coming out. And you know, we do like fusions with elements of progressive metal, oriental rock, and a bit of jazz and classical music. You know, everything like that, and combine that with flute and groovy flute and things like that. And it's very interesting. It was very interesting, and it was very interesting creating this music, also arranging it with the band and everything. So yeah, it's gonna be great. You can be updated about it. Today I have my Facebook profile, but soon there will be a band page on Facebook. We are called Meraki. MERA. Yeah, Meraki. Mera and key, like key of the door.
Okay, you'll have put that in my chat box today, and I'll make sure I put all that information under the YouTube replay video. So, and in my website, because I want to put it in my website too.
Great.
Yeah, yeah.
So soon I hope soon it will be out there. We're experience serious delay with our video clip. Something very weird.
Yeah.
with the photographer.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be great. So come and search for it, because it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, and you're on Facebook just as Danielle Sassi, or is it? Do you have? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So, Danielle Sassi, like Danielle, you know, the French writing with double L and E.
Yeah.
And Sassy, SASSA.
Yeah. I'll have all. Yeah. I got one more question. What's the greatest thing? Because I've got these, you know, I have all these great pictures of.
Yeah, that's beautiful. What the collage you made?
Yeah, yeah, and I love, because you and your dad are always look so great together. What's the greatest thing about performing with him? What's it like? Will you? I mean, are you leaning toward doing more of that, or getting away more with your own band? I know there's like 3 questions there, but I mean, I would think it's very exciting to be up there with them.
Yeah, it's really exciting, and it also brings me crowd. You know, like people know me. You know, it's sometimes weird, because you know, people know your father, but you know, you're like the daughter of. They don't know things you do as a person, you know, alone, things that doesn't have about to my father. And now people will see what I do without my father, because he actually plays and things like that. But I do it on my own. So yeah, because it's my band, so I invest more time and money and everything to my band, to the things I do. But I still invest time in my dad's music, because you know, it's a great way to make people know you. It's it's always an experience to be on stage with such talented and professional musicians, like the musicians that we work with, Orl Bianeker, which is a international best in an international level, and Roy Friedman and Shai Flach. You know, everyone on this band are amazing guys. We were on Santorini last week and had many great experiences together. And yeah.
That's great. But that's good that you also
I enjoyed very, very much
being with him. But it's good. But I admire that you want to step away from him some too with your own band, and I understand that. I think that's great. I mean, to have your own So you got the best
Yeah.
of, you have the best of both worlds too. You get
Yeah. Also, my genre, the sound that I create with my band is different. My, like my passion, what I want to do with my music is different than it's a bit similar, but it's different from what my father does.
right, right.
So, yeah.
And you've enjoyed playing with Bumblefoot too. Now he's ex Guns N' Roses Bumblefoot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The show
You like
was
that too?
like 2 years ago.
Uh-huh.
First of all, it was amazing, meeting and performing with the guitarist and that level. So, like an opportunity, a great opportunity. Um, um, and he also is so humble and kind person. And
Yeah.
and maybe it was only one song that I played 2 phrases, but it was still amazing,
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, I was proud, and I was proud of my father, and I was proud of myself that I have that I'm in the level of playing with him,
Yeah, yeah.
Because my dad always said that if I wasn't in the level, so he wouldn't take me to all places he takes me, recording in Santorini and performing in Bumblefoot, and even just, performing and recording in his own album, in his albums, which are international albums, it isn't something like small or it's serious. It's professional.
Yeah, it is.
And yeah, I feel very proud of myself for that.
Yeah, I've got one of his albums, and then I've got his T-shirt too. Yeah. So so that's great. But I know you're getting to do some great things, and I think that's really exciting. I mean, I think that's amazing because you're right. You wouldn't be asked to do all these things if you weren't at that level. So that speaks volumes for what you're doing and your talent. So that's good, Danielle. That's good.
Thank you.
Well, I hate to end this today, but I want to thank you for being here. Is there anything you want to add that we didn't go over or mention, or?
Just follow your dreams and play an instrument.
Yeah.
That's great.
What advice would you give to another musician that's just starting out or it's very young? Is there something you would advise them on that has helped you?
Just to believe in yourself. It's that simple and that clear. Just to believe in yourself, know you can, even if you say to yourself that you can't, and it happens. And like everything that people want of you, and you feel stressed and everything. Just to remember that you can do everything. You're in this generation, and you can do everything.
Yeah, you're right. So I think that's good advice, Danielle. I'm really so glad you were able to be here today, and I'm glad your dad had. Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you. Don't hang up. I want to thank the viewers too. Make sure that you share this replay, this YouTube replay, so that it helps me continue to celebrate Danielle and get her more and more exposure. There'll also be a copy in my blog. I'm having to redo my entire website, Danielle, because all the stuff that I had your father and everybody else in that site the company, I guess, went out of business. I've been on that site for years. And so I'm rebuilding everything. So I've already started it. So her replay will be on my YouTube channel, Tamarah's Closet, but it'll also be in my website at tamarahscloset.com. Do you have a website, Danielle?
I don't have a website yet.
That's okay.
But maybe in a couple of months when yeah, there are some singles with the band that will be released after the second single. So we'll have the band. I will have the band's website, Meraki.
Okay, good. And so she'll have Marique's website, but you can find her on Facebook. You're on Instagram. Is there anything else you're on?
Yeah. I have my Facebook, my Instagram. I think that's all for now. But later, I think I'm gonna have a Facebook page of my own and everything like that. You know, when you know there will be more exposure.
Yeah, but your personal page is on Facebook and you're on Instagram, so they can follow you there. So make sure you follow her. And I want to thank
Instagram, Danielle Sassi Flutist.
Say it again.
And on Facebook, Danielle Sassi. And on Instagram, I'm Danielle Sassi Flutist.
Okay.
And on Facebook, I'm Danielle Sassi. You can follow. You can also send a friend request. It's also cool. And that's all. Follow. Many good things are about to come.
Good.
And thank you so much.
Yeah. Thanks for being here. Don't hang up yet. I'm just going to say goodbye. I want the viewers to, I want to thank them for their continued support. And join me in a couple of weeks because I'm going to be having a live interview with a celebrity trainer and in LA, Marcus Smith. And I believe he's worked with Shamar Moore, if you're familiar with Shamar. So it's going to be fun. So see you soon in a couple of weeks. Take care, and to your own success, just keep on rocking it.
Thank you, Tamarah.